This is my 1 acre pond, and just yesterday I realized that thousands of fish are in trouble, and if we don't do something about it, they're going to die. And this came about because 3 years ago, whenever me and my dad actually built the pond, for whatever reason, a leak popped up and we're slowly losing water. With this being said, the shallow areas are getting a little too shallow and the fish are about to be stuck. So in this video, we're throwing on some waders, pulling out some nets, and we're gonna be doing everything we can to save these fish. And that brings us to right here, guys. We're out here at Gary Pond. It's looking great and everything. The problem situation's right over there by those rocks. The leak is the root problem of these fish. Let's walk out here on Greg a little bit and let me tell you a little bit of the story. Let me turn off our pump real quick. It's a little loud. This is aerating the pond, which is great and everything, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the leak. And right now, we're about 3 foot low of normal pool. But that's really not a big problem since the deepest part of the pond is 24 feet to start with, making the deepest part of the pond now 21 feet. That's not a big deal. But the problem is the fish that are living in 3 feet of water and that it's now almost down to 0. So let's head over here and take a look. But instead of walking over there, I'm gonna fly up the drone so that we can actually get a bird's eye view of what's going on. I think there's a lot that we can't see from the water's edge that we might be able to see from the top down. All right, here we go. All right, so here's Gary Pond. It's looking pretty good. See, whenever you're looking over here, you can see that, yeah, we have lost a little water, especially when you zoom in. You can see we have lost a little water, but from a wide view, I mean, the dock's still floating, the fountain's still pumping. This loss of water doesn't mean much until you get over here to the shallow ends where we're actually running out of water. And it's over here where you can see these old abandoned bluegill beds that actually had to be abandoned because we ran out of water. But then you'll see whatever's going on the surface, and you'll see like those big black dark spots. Here's the thing. Those big black dark spots are thousands of little minnows. And this is just one pod of these fish. Now, the species are fathead minnows. And the problem, well, I mean, take a look at where the water was a week ago. These guys are running out of room fast. And if they don't hurry up and get the deeper water, they're either going to burn to death or get eaten. And check out this drone shot I got just yesterday of a blue heron, I think. It's some kind of bird like that, some kind of heron. Literally, I mean, this dude was being effective. He was, every single strike, he was picking up 1 or 2 minnows. Easy. He was just filling his belly, which isn't even a bad thing. But the problem is that these fish are in an extremely vulnerable position right now. And on this side, it's not so bad. But on the other side of this rock pier, it can get kind of bad. Because here, take a look at all these fish. You can see, once again, there's thousands of them. But the problem here is that the water actually gets pretty skinny right here. So if the water goes down another 6 inches, they're probably just going to be stuck in this hole of water. And that's what we're going to try to do today, is see if we can't net them or scare them into deeper water before they actually dry up and have to die in that hole. But if these fish are literally just chilling back here, why are they not just swimming out to deeper water before they get in trouble? I think that's a valid question. It's really nice. I mean, we're pretty much eagle eyes right here, being able to look from above. Let's take a look. I think I found out the reason yesterday, but I want to look around and see if we can find it. Right there goes one of the reasons. It is a baby largemouth bass. There's another one of the reasons. You can see they're starting to school up. Those are baby largemouth bass, and I'm not talking just 2 of them. Those are about 5 inches long, and I've seen like 15 together at a time, in a little school even. And we'll see, as they start swimming, there'll probably be more group up in their school. I believe this is actually the problem. And I don't even know if it actually is a problem. But anyways, but now that we've looked at it from the drone, let's head on over there and look at it in person. All right, so here's what I've got. I've got this GoPro right here, which will extend out 80 feet on this stick. I've got this little net. I don't know how good I'm going to be able to capture anything. I don't know, these holes might be too big. I got my KG bluegill and trout kit, but that's because I'm going to try to catch some of these little wolfpack bass. I think those bass are literally keeping those fish pushed up in the shallows, and then every now and again they'll just bust in here, eat a few, and bounce out. I think that's what's happening, but I want to catch some to make sure and see. I think I'm going to have the perfect lure in this thing to catch these small bass. And what the heck has happened here? There's literally fish scales up here and a dead tadpole. Maybe that blue heron's been sitting right here and eating stuff. I don't know. Let's run this GoPro first. Check this out. This is kind of crazy, actually. I think I said 80 feet. I don't think it actually goes to 80 feet, but it probably does go pretty close. I ain't even kidding, dude. It really does. It goes It'll stinking launch out there, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, dude, imagine this, like, peeping through your window or something. You'd probably cry. All right, first, let me try to put this in the water and see if I can get a close-up on some of these bass. I'd say they're so brand new, they'll probably come up to the GoPro, honestly, trying to check it out. The water is super clear right here, so it looks pretty nice. It looks like right there we have some bluegill. Guys, here's what we gotta realize. These baby bass are such a good thing. That shows that our bass spawn was successful and that they're having so much food that they're growing good. These fish right here that we're looking at, they're about 2 or 3 months old max, okay? The spawn happened this spring. These fish are growing fast. Let me walk it right over here and see if we can drop it in. And they're so new, they're not even afraid. But like, look at those bass right here. You can see some of them. Look at that one right there. His belly's kind of fat. All right, we got some healthy little bass here. And we're getting some sick underwater footage. What I do know is that these baby bass, shoot, they may not even be babies no more, but they are strong, they are big. Let's go shine this GoPro over here and what they're eating, which these bass could be the reason they're pushed up here and too scared to go out to deep water. In fact, I'm almost sure of it just because that's how the world works. But nevertheless, we do need to push them out before they inevitably, burn really. And those baby bass are not the only thing eating these things up. See, here's blue heron tracks, and then the other day I seen a bear track. I'm not sure if bear are eating these fish, but I'm sure a bear wouldn't care to clean up and get a few snacks. Let me see if I can set this down in there. I don't know, it might be kind of hard. I'm setting it down in there. The big school are being kind of wary. No, they're gonna swim. They're gonna swim to the GoPro right here. Hope you guys can see that. But there are just thousands and thousands of these little fish. All these fathead minnows, that's what they are. Let's go over here to the real problem, which is this right side. This side, I think they're actually gonna have a problem getting out. We're gonna have to try to shoo them out because they're not gonna go against their will. They're gonna do whatever they can to simply not get eaten by those bass, even if that means dying and not really knowing it. They've probably got the water muddied up, but there's just thousands. There's a bunch. So many fish. This is awesome though. Now let me see what I can do. I got a couple things I want to try right here. First, I want to catch one of these baby bass on rod and reel. They're not going to bite a normal bass lure because their mouth, they're just not that big yet. However, in this little bluegill and trout kit that I sell on the website, I got stuff perfect for bluegill, and that's going to be perfect for a baby bass. With bass and fishing, it's all about matching the hatch. So if they're feeding on little bitty shiny minnows just like you just seen, that's what I'm going to give them. I'm going to put on a little bitty shiny little minnow. This one's a little pink, but I don't think these bass are going to care. They've never seen a hook before. And if you guys think you may want that kit, it's up on the website. Boom. And then after we do this, I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to catch some live minnows in the net. I want to throw a live minnow at them, see what they do to that. See if we can get them to fight over it. These guys are just eating so much. All right, let's see. First step, let's find a baby bass to throw to. It may be as easy as throw it out in the water. Yep, there, he's on me. He's done bit it. Nope, the baby bass are over here. They're exploding. They're exploding right now. While I was tying on my lure, they put together a little ambush over here and was going crazy on these guys. See, there they are again. They're going crazy. Those little bass, they just get in there and they take them out, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a baby bass. Let's see if we can get him to eat it. There's 4 of them on it. They're all looking at it. There's baby bass all around it. Maybe it's a little too big. Maybe they're not that hungry. They didn't really react. Let me get down with a dip net. Let's grab some live bait, dude. Let's see what we can do. I'm gonna give this one more try and swim it kind of fast like it's scared. If you swim it fast, sometimes it'll make them feel like it's getting away. They kind of act like their belly's full. And it can be hard to catch a fish with his belly full. Honestly, it's a great question. Why should he try hard to catch this whenever he's got 10,000 little fish over here that have no possible way to get away from him? All right, let's go see if we can get one or something. Over here, I'd say it's not gonna be too hard. This water is just vibrating with them. I'm sure we got some. Oh my gosh, we got everything in the world. We got tadpoles, we got minnows, and I mean, you can see what we're dealing with here. Look at this stinking tadpole. That's a giant tadpole. That's a baby bullfrog. Let me grab some of these. All these guys are stuck. I'm gonna try to grab the biggest minnow I can. There's 2 of them. I'll let the rest go. We'll try to help them out later. But guys, this shallow water, it's heating up rapidly. So that's another problem. It's heating up kind of fast. Here, I'm gonna take this smallest one. I'm just gonna throw it in there. I bet he's doomed. Let me hurry up and hook this guy on the hook before he dies. They're super finicky to begin with. And that's kind of one of the reasons we kind of need to help them, because they're not gonna live forever. Let me see if I can just toss in here to these crazy bass. The more scared it gets, the more excited they get. But they didn't even hit it. Oh, they hit it there. Oh, no, he took it. He took the minnow and I lost him. All that minnow has to do to die is act like it's injured. He's cooked. I can't believe they're not eating it already. Yeah, they're already trying. This dude may just live for a minute. They're making a move over there. They're about to attack. Uh oh, now they're all over. They're all over. Nope, he took my bait again. All right, guys, that's probably all I can do. I think we've seen all we need to see here. I think these baby bass are a big part of why they're so scared, but let's see if we can actually get in there and get them out of the shallows. And I mean, really, whenever you look at it, maybe we're not doing too much to save these fish. Maybe they're being pushed up shallow to be eaten, and that's just how the food chain's supposed to be. And I'm sure that is about right. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna put on our waders, we're gonna get in there. We're at least gonna make sure that these fish can be pushed out. At least they have a chance to get to deeper water before it dries up. The water drying up is one thing that's not necessarily supposed to happen in nature. Let's get these waders on so that we can get down in the water and not worry about getting soaked or muddy. Okay. All right. Man, these things are hot. I'm gonna burn up today. I'm gonna burn up real good. I went ahead and brought a shovel because I think one of the biggest things I'm gonna have to do is just make sure the trench is deep enough that if the water keeps going down, they do have a way to get out. And then I'm gonna try to walk around a little bit and try to make them get out, but that's something I don't know if I can make them do. I can give them a chance to get out of the shallow water, but I don't know if I can force them to get out of the shallow water. That may just be something that's a little bit past my limits. And I bet these bass are gonna go absolutely bananas, because I'm going in there and I'm going to try to push all those minnows out. They are about to have it made. Let's see if I can get in here. I'll try to put up the camera somewhere right here so we can see them. Maybe right here may be good. I'd say there's going to be some crazy action whenever I start moving around. All right, guys, I'm leaving you guys here. This is going to be the exit. I'm going to try my best to push 5,000 minnows right through this little pass. Guys, I am already sweating up a storm, but let's get in here and see what we can do. I'm not worried about the frogs and the tadpoles. Like, for example, this is kind of what we're talking about here. There's this little hole of water. There is no escape anymore because the water's just went down that much. There's a few minnows in here, but there's just not enough to worry about, unfortunately. Now, I'm gonna grab my net and I'm gonna try it. The problem is whenever these little holes get cut off from the rest of the pond, one, they heat up really fast. But two, obviously, once you get cut off from the pond, you're working with limited oxygen. I don't even know if this is gonna work or not. I don't know if I'm scooping up just a bunch of grass or what. There's a few live critters in here. There ain't much though. That right there is mostly tadpoles. From here, let's just walk through it real steady, making a lot of commotion. See if we can't flush them into going deeper. I think this is our best chance. And there's already fish swimming back behind me. I'm gonna kick under this a little bit. Come on now, fish. I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them go. Let's scoop and see what's down here. Yeah, there's still some tadpoles, still some of that. We'll try to move them a little bit. My dad actually did come in yesterday. That's whenever we realized the problem. We fixed it a little bit. You can see here this clip. Dad actually came in, was digging this trench. That's where this fresh mud is from. But he actually came in and dug this trench a little bit more. I'm trying to push them out, guys. I'm trying. I can only push them so far, though. I mean, if I push them out of the shallow water too fast, then they all get killed. So are we really even saving fish here, or are we just messing around? That's all right. We're giving them a chance to get out of here. And I'm probably scaring off a few bass as we get in here, too. So that may help them out a little bit. Now let's go over there to the other side and see if we can spook them out. And just for a moment, we're going to be cutting in the video to tell you about the sponsor, Surfshark VPN. And this is something that I use all the time. If you didn't know, VPNs can be used for a lot of different things, but the main one being security. The way a VPN works is by making your device look like it's somewhere far away. That way it's really hard to read and not really a target for hackers. This is really important whenever you're using public Wi-Fi, like at an airport, a restaurant, or just somewhere where there is a lot of people. The Surfshark VPN scatters all that and makes it a whole lot harder for hackers to actually target you and see what you're doing. But a VPN also does other things. Since it makes you look like you're in a different country, you can actually watch videos on like Netflix that are specifically only allowed in that country. But since the VPN makes you look like you're in that country, you can watch them wherever you are. And a good thing, it's available on all devices, anything that you get on the internet with, since that's what needs protected. And with the added Surfshark One, you can get special alerts if your info's been leaked online. So go to surfshark.com/graygang, first link description, or use code GRAYGANG at checkout, and that's gonna get you 4 months free. And there's even a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't really like it. Like I was saying earlier, this is something I use all the time. But if this is something that you're interested in, click the link below or in the pinned comment. But for now, let's get back to saving these fish. Now this other side may be a different story, I don't know. These fish over here, I don't think they're trapped at all. I think they're literally just dying. They're not even dying, they're just getting clapped, okay? Look, they're getting eaten right now. There went one right there with a whole fish in its mouth. Now, I don't even think I'm helping these fish. I think I'm just getting them killed. All right, here we go. We're going in this other side. I'm not spooking these guys anywhere. I'm just spooking them right into the bass's mouth. These guys are so scared, they're swimming back to me because they're scared. Now they're all schooled up over here. What the heck is this? Is this a shrimp? What is that, a shrimp? How long's there been shrimp in the pond? There's about 100 of them. Let's just walk them out to deep water, see what happens. I don't even know. We're about to get up close for these blue. Boom. Let's see how fast it takes for something to kill them. They just got hit. Guys, I don't think we're saving fish here. I think we're being the catalyst for them to get snatched. And that's not bad because that's what bait fish, it's kind of like the whole point of bait fish is to feed the big fish. Let me snatch a few more of these and we're going to use them as bait. Just go straight up here. Look at them. It's crazy. This water's just vibrating with all the fish. You're kidding me? That's crazy. And then we're going to set the GoPro in the water to get some cool underwater footage. And then we're going to throw them and see what the bass do when they hit the water. Let's throw some minnows right in front of the camera. Let's see if they can get it. That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Right in front of the camera. Boom. That one was alive when it hit the water. It did not die. See how this one does. Boom. They got it. All right, guys, so the water's gotten a little dirty on both sides. I'm gonna step back, give it some time, let the dust settle, and we're gonna come back in about an hour and see what actually happened, see if they moved out or if they literally moved right back in. In the meantime though, I got a new gun that I'm getting ready to go hunting with in 2 days for a video on the main channel, but I need to shoot it at some long range. So let's head right back up here and let's shoot that gun. It's about a 400-yard shot, and it'll give time for this water to settle and clear up. I'm glad I got out of them waders. Them things like smother you if it's hot. I get more wet in waders because I just sweat through the waders, okay? Anyways, we're getting ready to shoot this gun. It's a gun we've been shooting a little bit recently. You've seen it in some videos for sure. Let's go ahead and open it. But it is my 6.5 Creedmoor Smoky Long Boy. I don't know, guys. I like it. I think it looks pretty sick. We're going to put a suppressor on the end of it. And then the target we're shooting, it's way over there in that wood line. You can't really see it on this camera. We're going to be shooting some of this. Let's put this in on it for now. I ain't even got a rangefinder, man. We're just going to take a few shots and hope for the best. That's what we're going to do. And then another thing we're going to do after we get done shooting the gun and before we go over there, my dad just pulled out some autumn olive trees with the excavator. Right now, he's just laid them out in the field. We need to go get them with the tractor and move them. And then by then, hopefully the dust will have settled and we'll be good to go. All right, so I'm now recording on the big camera. I'm gonna zoom into the target. Yeah, there it is, that little silhouette way out there. And I'll go ahead and zoom out so you guys can kind of get the idea. We're pretty far away, so yeah, that's a pretty long shot. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll be able to see the bullet drop or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. Realistically, guys, we're ready to at least attempt to start shooting. Except I need to fold this up a little bit and get a little shooting thing right here. I don't like to shoot without a really good, stable position. And this right here is not a really good, stable position. I don't really like that at all. Here's the thing, guys. If you guys are shooting, you're allowed to keep adjusting your shooting position until you feel comfortable with it. You don't have to take the shot the first time you lay down. Let's see. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more. I'm gonna put a box of shell in it. See if that raises it up enough. I want to be able to lay the gun down and it pretty much be pointing at the target. The closer I can get to that, the better. And there, I'm pretty good. I'm not perfect, but I'm pretty good. We'll send a few shots like that. I estimate 400, but that's a rough guess. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. I'm gonna hold a little bit high and we'll go from there. If I hit it, I may not need to be doing much. I did not hit it. That was not a good shot. I was not ready. Let me try it again. That's not good. I need to slow it down. I need to chill out a little bit. That was another miss. I'm kind of just holding at the tip of its head. Let me hold a little bit higher and let me see how much it drops. I'm gonna hold about 1.5 feet over its head. There we go. My bullet was dropping way more than I realized. Now, I've not got the specific calculations and bullet drop figured out yet, and I forgot my rangefinder, so I'm not going to be able to do that anyways today. But I think the biggest thing is if you're not super comfortable taking long shots, then just don't take them. I don't think I'd shoot an animal this far, especially with me not having the calculations figured out yet. That's good enough for me. I'm not shooting an animal this far, but it's good to at least get this out here and know that this gun can do it. Now let's hop on the tractor. We got some stuff to move real quick. Actually, I changed my mind. I got one more thing I gotta do with the pond. We're gonna hop in on the tractor right here in a minute. Right now, we're gonna rig up my aerator thing a little bit better than it was. So here's the thing. I've got a little aerator over here that sits on the bottom, and it's all the way down there and it sits on the bottom. Well, the problem is that whenever it's sitting on the bottom, sometimes it pulls up the dirt and makes the water muddy. So I've built this redneck platform that I'm gonna attach it to. That way it can't pull up junk from the bottom. It'll just be producing air. Now this could potentially be the most useless invention in the world, but it could make the water a little bit clearer. I don't know. And there we go, son. Look at that. A redneck rig bottom maker something. And after turning it on, it's working, and it doesn't seem like dirty water's coming up. Guys, I'll be honest, I don't really know what I just did. Let's hop on the tractor and let's move some stuff. All right, guys, so we're walking up to the tractor. What we're working with is an LS. I've had it for a couple months, and I've been using this thing to death, for real. It's an LS 357. This thing is legit. It's great. Right now it has the bucket on it. We're gonna be taking this off so that we can put the grapple. So I just need to come in here. It's quick attach, so I can quick detach too. Boom. Bam. Now let's go drive it over to where I keep the grapple. We'll put it on and we'll get to work. Let's go ahead and hop on in and we'll get it started. All right. I drive this thing all the time. I'm constantly doing something with this thing. Sheesh. Turn it's hot. Let's go ahead and turn this AC up quick. But yeah, right now I have the normal bucket on the front and the bush hog on the back. I've not really had a chance to take the bush hog off yet. I do have a disc ordered so that I can actually plow the fields a little bit for food plots. But right now, all I have is this bush hog on the back. We're not mowing right now. We're just gonna be picking up stuff and moving it. Put this thing in gear. Pull up the bucket. Let's go ahead and drive on over there to where we keep the grapple. Sweet. But yeah, right now I have 28 hours on this thing. I mean, it's not too small to where I can't do stuff, but it's not so big that it's like overpowered for the stuff I do. I'm not like a hardcore farmer. I like to play around and make food plots and stuff, but like this right here, one thing I'm driving over, I filled in this little hole with dirt, and that made a big difference because I was having to drive through a ditch every time I drove through here. So see, let me go ahead and set this down. It should be easy. Perfect. Now I'm going to have to pull around over here, pick up this grapple, and I'm going to have to come in at the right angle too to make this work. I might have to jump out right here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hop out and move this thing. I just got fluid all over me. That's not cool. I don't even know what to do now. guess I had too much pressure on the hydraulics, and whenever I pressed it, it just went crazy. What do I do? This is pretty greasy. All right, stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna figure out how to clean my hands, then we can actually get started. All right, guys, I cleaned off my hands the best I could. Don't really like being greasy, but all right then. I guess that's how it's gonna roll. Let's make sure this thing works. There's close, there's open, up, down, twisty. Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. Now follow me. We are going to go pick up some stuff. Now we have some autumn olives, like I was saying. Autumn olives are a interesting little bush that's not native, and they were really kind of messing up with my trees over here. So now we're gonna crawl in here, we're gonna grab them, the ones that you can see he's tore down, and we're just gonna go from there and go stick them somewhere. Welcome to Farming Simulator IRL. Let's get going. All right, first one's here. I'm not gonna make this any more complicated than it needs to be. I think we just roll up on them and grab them. I bet we can honestly get a bunch at once, and then we'll close. Let's see how much we got here. This may be too big. It may not though. I don't know. This thing can, yeah, it's a little too big. I didn't really come at it from the right angle. Let me try again. I may not get it perfect, but I'll get them right here. It's almost time to start getting ready for food plots and stuff. That won't be no time. All right, let's see what I can grab right there. Let's see what I got. And I don't really have much at all. It looks like I grabbed one little stump. At the same time, that's not a small stump. I mean, that's a big stump. It needed to go. Let's go ahead and take it where we're taking it though. One piece at a time and we'll get this thing out of here. I'm gonna bring it all the way down in here and push it in here. And there we go. Not much, but I've got a lot to go. Oh, there we go. That's a good grab. That's a good grab. Dude, this thing's way more than I thought. Now, let's see if we can... really want to just get it back in there. Oh, come on. Just push it over in the hole. Did I hit a hole or something? What did I hit? Nah, we're good. I don't know. Maybe we're not. Oh, gosh. I gotta get this big tree off of it. Get off me. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna keep on tractoring around. I'm gonna keep grabbing some of this stuff and moving it, and then once I'm done, we're gonna head back up there. I still want to see if I can catch one of those little bass. I still want to get one of them in my hands. I want to see what they look like up close. See how big they are, how fat they are, how big their mouths are, just stuff like that. I just want to see one up close because it's a pretty cool story of what the bass have done. All right, moment of truth. Our efforts did pretty much nothing. Maybe we moved some of them out, but there is still quite a few minnows here, there, and everywhere. So as for this other side, yeah, our efforts definitely didn't do anything. There is just as many minnows here as before. I don't really know if we can do much about them. It would be nice if we could magically move them out to deeper water, but then again, they're a fish this big. They're probably not that smart. There's probably really not that much I can do. But as for catching them, I do think our best bet is somehow going to be catching some more of them live and then trying to get these little bass to bite them. But I am going to go ahead and I am going to switch up one little thing. Instead of this jig head, which is still really small, it still may be too big. So I'm going to come in here in this, and I'm going to switch it out for one of these tiny hooks. That way we're just casting the minnow, not the weight or anything. I think that could be a change that we could actually hook up on some bass right here. All right, never mind. I forgot. I don't have a knife. I still think our best bet's going to be to catch some live bait. And if these guys are just going to die anyways, I definitely don't care to snatch them. There, I've got a few right here. We'll pull them out as we need. I want to get an up-close look at what these bass look like right now, because I said there's a cool story. That cool story is that 2 years ago, in this video right here, we stocked 50 bass in here that was no bigger than that right there. We stocked them in here, and that first year, they did not spawn, so there was no extra bass in here. Followed up 1 year later, which is actually this spring, we had some fish spawning. We had bass spawning. Spawning is where they have babies and stuff. Well, here's the great thing. All these little bass that we're seeing are those babies, which means that the pond is working the way it's supposed to. And to me, that is a pretty awesome thing. So I want to see what one of these babies looks like up close and personal. I want to see how they're doing. I want to see how they're built, what they look like. I don't know. I just think this is a really big step for the pond. Our first season of baby bass, and they are feeding like crazy. But are they feeding enough for me to be able to catch one? That's what we're going to find out. I don't think it should be hard though. Nope. There we go, we got one. Oh no, it actually didn't. We caught a big old red ear. Dang. Oh, and now we just killed a big old red ear. I'm just kidding, he's fine. Ah, yeah, he came up and he snatched it. I thought that was a bass, but it wasn't. Let's get it right back out there. See if we can get a bass to hit. There's another one, daggone. That's not a bass either. That's another big old red ear. Come on now. I ain't gonna lie, dude. These red ear right here, they're getting big. Not only that, but the fact that earlier in the year, we had never caught a red ear. That's funny. But I do think it's interesting to see that the red ear actually doing damage on these minnows too. So much that we're having a hard time getting the bass to bite them, because those red ear hitting them as soon as it hits the water. He took my bait. Man, they're good at that, aren't they? This is interesting. We may just not be able to catch one. All right, last one, and then they win. If I can't get bit on this last minnow right here, the bass win. I just can't catch them. Come on, he hit it. All right, guys, I can't catch them. I tried. Maybe that's something we'll come back and do in a later video. But I think right now these bass are still a little bit too small to actually catch. Turns out we really didn't save many fish at all. If anything, we probably got a lot of them killed, chased them right into some bass's mouth. But that's not always a bad thing. We did learn a lot more about the situation and why the fish are doing this in the first place. And I guess for now, they're just gonna be an easy snack for the bass, birds, and raccoons, because it don't look like they're leaving that shallow water anytime soon. If you're interested in more videos about Gary Pond, click right over here, check some of them out.